Hey everyone, Burton's back with yet another series. As promised, we are going to be playing Game of Thrones this time, Crusader Kings 2 as usual, and as you can see on the screen, it's Stannis. Stannis the Magnus. We finally decided to go ahead and give him a good playthrough, because it's been requested quite a lot and I've never really got around to doing it. It's probably because Stannis in the show I'm not too keen on. In the books he's okay, but I can understand there's a lot of love when it comes to Stannis, so I thought I'll do a series. We'll see what we can do here. I've decided to go for the Feast of Crows scenario, which as you all know is up in the north. So for people who are not fully up to date, I was going to say there's going to be spoilers, but in all fairness, is there really going to be spoilers? Because at the end of season 5 of the TV show, Stannis was, cover your ears if you haven't watched it, supposedly killed, although I don't think that's what happened. And in the book he is sitting outside of Winterfell, freezing to death, waiting for people. So that's where he's up to there. So what are we actually going to do? Well, first we're going to read this somewhat declaration. Now the king on the wall, the war to reclaim my birthright suffered a crushing setback on the Blackwater, with my armies being smashed by the host of Lannister usurpers and the traitorous Tyrells. All looked lost, but the Lord of Light guided me to the wall where I defeated the wildlings threatening my realm. Now with my new seat on the wall at the Night Fort, I am poised to subdue the North. Many of the mountain clans and other lords of the North have already sworn me their allegiance, justly owed. Many of us defy me though. Perhaps if I were to name Jon Snow, the boy commander of the Night's Watch and son of Eddard Stark, the rightful lord of Winterfell, they will see the light. So part of me thinks a bastard cannot inherit, but then Jon Snow, what does he know? I'll send him the offer, we'll see what he does. It would be in our benefit if he went ahead and did so. First things first, let's have a look at Stannis the Magnus. So we are a skilled commander, trained fighter, a knight chosen by Rennar. We supposedly have Lightbringer. Classified as a rebel leader, Baratheon bloodline. We are just, we are proud, we are diligent, temperate, chaste, ruthless, and authoritative. So this is somewhat more like the book Stannis than it is TV show Stannis. We're unyielding, we're an organiser, and we lead from the rear. So obviously these are going to be the traits that we're going to use to make our decisions where possible. I'm married to Cersei. As we all know, Cersei is one ugly person, but because we're using the Bloodlines mod, you can see guarding the Bloodline in the past, because all Florence would have that. Now Lady Shireen, she is my heir. She is disfigured by grayscale. Sympathy with Westerosi, Baratheon and Gardner, some strong actual bloodline traits there, and that's where she's at right now. So before we get into a bit of an overview of the North, I want you to see a thing or two. The thing or two I want you to see is called prisoners. We have a couple of interesting prisoners. Firstly, we have Asher Greyjoy in our cell. Now Asher, what are you going to do? Theon is with Ramsay. We could probably try and get Theon as well, but Asher's there. Now we do have a couple of options. We can obviously kill her, we can execute her, we could even try and burn her, or we could try and take her as a lover. Now I don't think I'm the sort of person who's going to go ahead and start forcing prisoners to love me, so I don't think we're going to be doing that. However, there is Val as well, and Val is also pretty. We're not going to do that with Val. I think we're going to keep them as it is. We do have Aemon, who is Aemon Raider apparently. Wink for people not in the know. So I don't know what we're going to do with them. I think for now we're going to keep them exactly where they need to be kept, and that is under our watchful eye. Now open council positions. So as we all know, our Castellan is Davos. Davos is actually not at court right now, he's away somewhere. We sent him to do something, he disappeared. Davos, where are you, sir? Just the car, we need to pick a new one. Now I like Justin Massey as much as the next guy, and I think Justin will be a good guy for that. So we'll go ahead and do that. Master of Arms, we're going to stick with Richard Harp, sorry. Lord Treasurer is going to be Lomas of Storm's End. He's not actually too bad. What is he? He's an Eastermont. Our Spy Master, we can have Manfred of Blackhaven, who actually does not like us, or we can go for Axel. Axel Florent's not too bad, but look at his stewardship. So I think Axel potentially could take over from Davos if Davos disappears, so we're going to leave Axel as it is. Should we try and get the Lord of Blackhaven on our side? Maybe not. I'd prefer to have someone who likes us, so Humphrey. It shall be you, sir. We're not going to go for a priest. We've got Lady Melisandre. Now, I'm quite happy with how things are set up, so with that done, it's time for us to pick a character focus. Now, as I want to rule and I need to war, I think the most likely ones are either war or rulership. Let's have a look at how we stand, or can certainly benefit from some more diplomacy, some more stewardship perhaps. But war is what we need right now. Time is pressing, we have war on multiple fronts, so we're going to go for war. I think for choosing an ambition, we are going to choose something, have a son. I think it's important for us to have a son. Obviously with Shireen we have the problem right now that we can get her married, but we have religious differences. So it's going to be very difficult for us to get anything going with that. I want a son, it's going to put us in good stead with the people who are under us. Right, let's have a look at the wars that we're currently in at the moment in that case. As we all know, we are fighting for the north. Roose Bolton, the Leech Lord, has taken control. He's got Ramsay over here in Winterfell. We want to try and get this back as soon as we can, unite the north, and hopefully then head on down to maybe not deal with Aegon, because Aegon might not even be there. Him and the Golden Company, they've landed. And they've landed down in Griffin's Roost. Now, judging by that, Griffin's Roost is about to fall any moment, so they're going to be causing some problems. However, King Tommen, who is supposedly my nephew, but we know he's not, he's actually supported by the Trolls. Look at the size of that army, so Mace is there. So we're in a spot of bother. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by calling up some ships. Now, is that all the ships that we actually have? Let's have a quick look. No, we have some. There we go. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want my ships to be in a very good position. In fact, I'm going to send them there, and we're going to switch to Realm View. So this is how the north is divided right now. It's a fairly clear Hill Tribesmen, the Umbers. Yeah, so they've got the Karstarks on the side, and obviously the Freys are supporting them. Now, the Karstarks are an interesting one because they've got Harrion. He's imprisoned by King Tommen, so there's very little we can do there. Jon Umber, however, is imprisoned by Walder Frey. We free that, we solidify the Umbers. That's a thought. However, I believe in the Dreadfort. Is there anyone else there? And they don't actually have any prison. I was actually having a look to see if there'd be anyone else there of interest. Right, so we need to make some plans. I think the first thing we're going to do is just let's have a look at the dynasties. Who's actually running? So we've got Glover, we've got the Hill Tribes that we're aware of, Karstarks. The Reeds have actually stayed out of it as far as we can tell. Obviously, yes, false religion, we understand this. It might be worthwhile us trying to convert Galbert Glover. What do you think? He's not actually married, so perhaps to arrange a marriage to start with? Nah, he doesn't want anyone there. So I think we'll start by sending out Melisandre. I think we're actually going to keep her on the wall at the Nightfall. So we'll leave her there. Everyone else, I'm fine with what they are doing right now. Right, I believe it's time to start marching. So where are we going to start? Well, before we start anything, I believe we need to have a quick look at our commanders. So who do we actually have here? So we have Harlan Wagstaff. He is not great. Can we get rid of him? Resign him as a commander, thank you very much. We've got Vardis Sunglass. He's okay, he's unyielding. He doesn't like us too much. I think we're actually going to resign him as a commander as well. Roland Storm, yes, you'll be okay for now. Follards, yes. Godry, yes. That's not too bad. Do we have anyone else who can fill the spot left? I'm pretty confident that we do. So to start with, we have Richard Harp. He's our Master of Arms. I would also like to... No, in fact, we'll keep him as he is. Godry, we know he is already one of our commanders. We don't want him to resign it. Roland Asher. We've got Narbert. Narbert's an inspiring leader. I can do with a flanker. Perkin. Perkin's a commander, okay. Are you? I didn't see you as a commander. Oh yes you are, Perkin, well done. Okay, well in that case then, we can get Narbert. I'll appoint you a commander. And can we get ourselves a half decent bodyguard? So all these have commands. Corliss is a trained fighter, ideally. I wouldn't want someone who's a poor fighter after all. Justin Massey. Right, so Justin Massey, can we get you here? We cannot, in fact, but we can get Richard's Hope. So I think we'll go ahead and do that. So he is now one of our bodyguards, he's one of our King's Guards, so I am very satisfied with that, and while we're doing things. Who better than Melisandre to be the designated regent? We'll go ahead and do that. Right, enough waffle, let's get on the move. So where do we go? We can go to the Dreadfort, we can go to Winterfell. I think we're gonna head to Winterfell. And off we go. So straight away you can see we're actually split into two. So we have actually an army in tow. And while we're actually travelling, I'm going to make sure we'll have Godry firing on one side. Who's that other flanker? Richard Hope, in fact, is a siege leader. We could do with that. There he is, there's Perkin. The young Jon Snow saw sense. Clearly he was painted to break his oath, but he suddenly accepted my offer to become Lord of Winterfell. The Northmen will surely rally to him. That's really good. I didn't actually expect him to go ahead and accept that. I'm most grateful. Let's go. And so there you go. You can see the army of Gilbert, Lord Gilbert from Farin. And someone else has joined me as well, Whitehill. Lord Ludd, we know about you. Howland Reed has joined us. Everyone is joining us now. And all it took was Jon Stark. This is good. We just have to make sure that we're keeping an eye on what's happening in the south as well. And who is this? The Swans have gone ahead and joined us. The Swans themselves are actually quite good. That's going to get us a little bit of men. Hopefully that's going to slow things down in the south somewhat. I'm really happy with that. So let's continue our journey. Let's get ourselves to Winterfell. As you can see, White Harbour has risen up. Lance Raider is complaining about his Dark Silent Dungeon. He's asking for more suitable accommodation. You know what? Mance is strong, he's a poor formidable fighter. He is a deserter though, he does need to pay for being a deserter, and he's deceitful. Do we dare execute him? I think that's a decision for another time. For now, we are going to let him rot. So the wars go well at the moment. It looks like Aegon is still pressing his claims as we would expect. How's he actually getting on though? That's the question. So he's actually taken Griffin's Roost, he's pushing into Crow's Nest, and he has a secondary force on the way from Rain House as well. That's quite interesting. Meanwhile, Tommen, what are you up to? Well, I think he's up to quite a bit. I think I'm going to stick Humphrey in King's Landing just to keep an eye on things. We need to make sure we know where people are heading, because we know where we're heading. We're heading right where we need to be. So we can see a Karstark army actually heading back to Carhold. We can see they're actually getting their forces together. Holstein and the Northern Army are going to gather soon with about 5,000 men. I don't think it's actually going to be enough. I think perhaps we should actually go for a battle instead. So let's go for it. I mean, we should have enough men right now. Should be able to take this. Let's see if we can. Northern Lords are rallying to our flag, and that's going to be really good for us here. It means that we might not have to spend money on mercenaries. Not that we have a lot of money, but we do have some ships finally, so they have arrived in time. Let's see if we can go ahead and catch up to these. Yes. So who's caught up to them? The men of High Point. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that the White Hills would be doing someone a favour? There we go, so we've managed to catch them now. So they're in the hills, so they're going to get a nice buff. But hopefully we've got men. We are in the middle. Legendary infantry advance to begin with. Excellent. On our flanks we have Perkin, who is the flanker, remember. He's impressive cavalry charge at the moment, and we've got an impressive feint on the other side by Godry the Giant Slayer. Gotta love that name. In the meanwhile, we've got Howland, who is just some random Howland. We've got Holstein of Drunken's Tower, who was actually a good fighter and who's now dead. He's been slain by Godry Farin in personal combat today. Brilliant. So their main commander has been killed and Carlon's there. Well done, Godry. So let's press on with things. They're actually crumbling already, and that was very quick indeed. I like that. They're actually in the middle of running. I think we're actually going to chase them. They're heading to Dawn Forest, and some are heading to the Dreadfort. The largest force is heading to Dawn Forest, so we're actually going to go and we are going to meet them there. Water score's jumped up to 21%, which is very good for us. White Harbour Army are on their way as well, so it's another 4,000. So my courtier, Ronald Karen, has expressed a desire to get married. Right, I will find you someone nice. Who have we got? Well, not Shireen. You are a bastard. So Roland Storm is Lord Byron and Nightsong's son, so you're a Karen. In fact, who actually has the lordship right now? Philip Foote has the lordship. Oh, I'm not sure I believe in that right now. Whose side are you on in it all? I'll find you someone nice. Don't you worry about that, we'll sort you out. Let's just make sure we take care of this first. It looks like the Karstark army have actually been engaged by the Farron Cross army. That's fairly even actually. They're getting a river crossing penalty as well, which is actually going to go in our favour quite well indeed. So the Battle of Glencastle is over. We've gone ahead and won that. They're heading down to King's Course now. They're actually going to run into this army here, so I'm not going to bother too much. I'm actually going to head up to the Dreadfort now and see how we actually get on. If we run into this army here, that would be very nice for us, because that's the army of Ramsay, and like nothing more than to catch that little bastard. And we'll see how we actually how we're actually able to do. Oh, just like Ramsay, he's turned tail and has decided to go ahead and run King's Course. Oh, they've actually managed to sneak past him. How's that happened? we're going to go straight for Ramsay. We have to go for victories. We can't really afford sieges when we're in the middle of 2 other wars that we're currently not actually present in. That's good. Ramsay's actually jumped down here. That's not what I wanted. Got 40% on this one. We've caught the people here. I'm not too bothered that we're crossing the river because Ramsay... Oh, it's Ramsay Karstark. Who would have thought there is a Ramsay Karstark? Well, there you go. We're at 48% now. Let's carry on. Fantastic. It looks like they're besieging the Dreadfort as well, which is great. Let's pause things up for a moment and have a look down south. So down south is not looking good. A lot of the places have actually been sieged down. Aegon and the royal forces don't really appear to be attacking each other that we can see at the moment, but that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. We're going to have to formulate a plan for that. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I want you to talk to me about. What are we going to do with Mance? Mance Rayder, the king beyond the wall, former king beyond the wall, is in our dungeons. What do we do with him? Do we burn him at the stake? Asher Greyjoy. We have many an option for Asher. Now I suggest we do something to her, even if it is just move her to a dungeon cell because that would be more secure. I get the feeling that maybe her mother, Alanis, she might do something in order to get her out. That's it for this episode, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying the new Game of Thrones series. It's something a little bit different for you. I know we've got used to a couple of other different series, but we've got to return to our roots. And you know what? It's just in time for Christmas. Give us a thumbs up for Stannis the Magnus. Cheers, guys.